One of the men allegedly involved in the murder of a police reservist in custody tonight. The new government has big plans for the country's #1 industry.
And we really have to maximize our efforts in that area.
Tonight we take a closer look at promises to boost tourism. Bahamians need to take the issue of child abuse seriously, says one nursing officer. Plus, are orders of nuns in the Bahamas fated to die out?
Decline is quite apparent.
I'm Nikia DeVoe, and this is NB12 Weekend. Thanks for spending your Sunday evening with us. One of the men believed to be behind the shooting death of police reservists late last week is in custody tonight. Officers arrested a 28-year-old man of Joe Farrington Road in connection with Thursday's murder of the 55-year-old police reservist. The suspect was arrested at his home around 3:23 yesterday afternoon, just moments after the suspect in the police shooting at Princess Margaret Hospital was taken into custody. The reserve officer was killed outside of Superwash on Prince Charles Drive during a botched robbery. According to police, active investigations continue. Well, yesterday we reported that 25-year-old Reginald Chase was in police custody after allegedly shooting an officer and escaping custody at the Princess Margaret Hospital. Well, this morning police released more details of the takedown. According to reports, it was Drug Enforcement Unit officers who arrested Chase on Bimini Avenue off Market Street without incident. Reports say they were acting on information around 3:20 yesterday afternoon. Acting on additional information, officers went to a bushy area off Bimini Avenue where they recovered the police weapon Chase allegedly used to shoot the uniformed officer. And 5 men are in police custody after they were allegedly found in possession of drugs. The men, ages 45, 42, 22, 20, and 19, were arrested following a search of a Pinewood Gardens residence. Officers executed a search warrant of the Jumbay Street home around 5:30 Friday, where they uncovered a quantity of suspected marijuana. While revamping the country's tourism product as a means of increasing revenue is high on the agenda of the new government. That includes a facelift for parts of downtown Nassau. Paige McCartney gives us an update on plans for the city center.
A call to revitalize downtown Nassau by decreasing traffic on Bay Street, pedestrianizing certain portions of the area, and providing incentives for business owners to beautify their storefronts have been considered by successive governments. However, later this year, Nassau will be another step closer to seeing at least one of those changes come to pass. Following the fire late last year at the site of the Straw Market tent, Deputy Director General in the Ministry of Tourism Tommy Thompson said the restoration of the Pompey Museum and Balcony House, which were also affected by the fire, will begin before the end of this summer, including plans for a new green space in place of where the Straw Market tent stood.
In terms of putting in kiosks for vendors, theater for concerts, also a promenade area for watching the concerts or just looking out over the ocean. They also intend to put in a water fountain for kids to enjoy on a hot day. So there's a number of things that they're doing there.
In fact, Thompson said plans are so advanced that the project should be completed by the end of the year. He said it will be a Christmas gift of sorts for the Bahamian people.
I just met with those persons concerned yesterday, and that is actually intended to be completed by the end of this year. So that's really on the way.
But with those improvements, Thompson said the rest of Bay Street will also need to be dealt with and improved. He said this year in particular, focus will be placed on addressing the traffic, clutter, and lack of cleanliness in the city center.
There's some issues with merchants and their garbage and how that is being collected. And, the times that they put the garbage out, is it really the appropriate time for that to be on Bay Street when you have visitors coming down? And in terms of the general cleanliness of the area, that also has to be addressed. It's a prime location, a prime street. So definitely a lot more attention and also care by Bahamian people of Bay Street has to be part of the equation. You can't really expect the government to invest in it and you treat it badly.
The government is also proposing to work with local and foreign air carriers to improve airlift to the country, as well as create opportunities for Bahamians to own hotels through the National Resort Development Initiative. Reporting for MB12, I'm Paige McCartney.
The new administration has created an entire ministry for Grand Bahama in an effort to revitalize its economy and reboost the location as a popular tourist destination. Well, the Ministry of Tourism is keeping that in the forefront of their plans over the next year.
We definitely have to do some restructuring in Grand Bahama in order for us to reach a full potential. I think some initiatives have been announced in terms of the reduction in taxes for the hotels currently there. And we have also got Bahamas Air flying in from a number of gateways in the U.S. to bring additional business. What the minister also wants to look at is having some airlift coming in from Europe into Grand Bahama as well.
Thompson said in addition to the tax breaks the government has proposed for Grand Bahama hotels, there must also be concessions offered to tourist attractions and activities on the island.
You really have to get Grand Bahama back up and running, so it needs to be positioned properly. We need to make sure that we've got the right mix of hotels, the right mix of activities, and indeed the right airlift coming in from critical markets. You know, Florida in particular is very important to Grand Bahama in terms of people coming over for conventions, meetings, golf, diving, bone fishing. All of those are key markets that we need to make sure that we are owning from North America. Romance, a big market, a big opportunity, and we really have to maximize our efforts in that area.